Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with Moa. My name is Jessenia. I'm pretty much sharing all types of wellness content and lifestyle stuff, I guess. Compared to all of my other videos, today is a very chill and relaxed video. I have been living in Paris for the past year and a half. It's crazy because every single time I come to the US to visit, I always get some sort of culture shocks because I have gotten very much used to certain things and certain habits and certain just way of life in Paris. So it does get a little shocking whenever I come back to Boston and then I go back to Paris. I get shocks all over again. It's the weirdest thing. To be honest, I really wanted to create this video because I always really wonder, are there Americans that have lived abroad or lived in Europe or specifically Paris, and then they come back to the US and then they feel kind of different? Or is it just me that honestly it's weird? It's almost like you feel like an outsider. And don't get me wrong, because I think living in Paris, I definitely always feel like the outsider, but it's almost like you have now become an outsider to your comfort zone. No, I really want to connect with people and see if there's anybody else out there that can relate. Or are you in the middle of the transition to going back to the US, moving abroad, or you've moved back to the US, or you live abroad but you still come back to the US from time to time. There's no place like home, but then once you are home, you're whoa, is this really my home anymore? Sometimes I feel guilty about that because I'm supposed to feel, I'm supposed to feel good, and I do feel good, but I also not feel good because I think a lot of the culture shocks that I definitely experienced from living in Paris specifically as a culture, there's specific times to eat, and I get really shocked that in America, there's really no such thing as that, or at least in Boston. I think that people just eat whenever. It shocks me, but then it doesn't shock me because I definitely used to be that way, where I didn't have these set routines of when you eat meals. I definitely feel things are just much more scattered here because everything is available at any given time. And it's so crazy to say that when I first moved from America, I was what the hell? I want there to be things available 24/7 at every single time. And it's so insane because then I get used to a life where things are essentially not available 24/7, maybe fast food and all. Comment down below if you feel me on this. I don't know if I'm just all right, you're over analyzing everything. The other thing that is really shocking to me is just quality of food. I knew even before coming here, I was nervous to come here because of the food quality that I know that America pretty much doesn't have in its food. In France, I've had the best food ever, specifically in Paris, because honestly I honestly have never tried anything horrible in Paris. All the food there is delicious, whether it's French, Italian, Thai, Chinese, Japanese. There is so much variety of food and it's seriously delicious. Again, the French, they take pride in their gastronomy, food in general, so I obviously have to give it to them. When you get very used to that really high quality food that you don't even have to try all that hard, because even when you go to the supermarkets, you still get really good high quality food with nutrients, without preservative injections and hormones and oversized meats that when I got here, obviously I had to go food shopping, and I was really disgusted. I don't know if I'm gonna make anybody mad by this. And again, I'm just speaking from how I feel and my experience with living abroad and now in the US. There's a lot of marketing in food in America, and I feel there's not a lot of marketing in food in France. So that was shocking to me because I expected food to have these fancy words and these attractive things that are gonna enhance your wellness and your healthy lifestyle, but it doesn't really work like that over there. So at first I'm okay, this is weird, but then you get used to it and everything is just so delicious and good quality. And then when you come here, I don't know what it is. I feel I do have to watch myself, and I hate to say that because I definitely don't, I'm not this supporter of oh, don't eat this, don't eat that. I don't know, it's a mind fuck. I'm just trying to be super real here. Honestly, I eat I cook literally almost every single day because I still want to make like home cooked meals and food and everything. But it's like when I go grocery shopping, I get like very skeptical. Like, where is this coming from? Like, what does this have? What injections does it have? And like, I can't buy organic, you know? Like, I'm not at that level of buying organic and spend like $1 million freaking dollars on food. I have to work with what I can afford. Those two things have been like a really big for me. And I think another reason why like these two things like really stand out to me is because, again, like I am all about wellness. I want to feel good, and I do think that food is a big part of that. Like when you're just eating really good food and putting like really good nutrients in your body, like natural energy boosters, and just fueling up your body with like proteins and carbs and fats and fruits and vegetables, like not limiting, not like taking away anything, just like eating really good food, whole foods. Again, if you are somebody that found this video because maybe you're like, okay, well, can anybody relate to me because I just either came back to the US, visiting the US, or I don't know, like you're just living abroad and you just feel different. You feel different from what your normal used to be, from what your comfort used to be. And even with friends and family, if you do grow apart from, you know, certain relationships that you used to have, it's really okay, but it just feels weird, you know? I know this wasn't like a super tangible, like valuable video in the sense like where I'm giving you tips, but I hope that if you're watching this video, you feel understood and heard and like, wow, like I can so relate, and just feel like validated. If you can relate at all or just need some like, yes, I freaking get that. There's so much more that I could say, like there's so many other things, but I guess I'm just gonna leave it here. And if there's anything else specific that you would like to know, or if you want me to like elaborate on other subjects or other things, because obviously like, you know, yeah, like, yeah. Yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this little rantish video. I hope to see you in the next one. Again, comment down below. Let's chat, let's talk, and yeah, have a good day. Bye.